Hey everyone. Okay, I'm going to try to fit this all in. First, I apologize for the lighting. It's just that time of day, and I'm going to be trying to talk kind of softly because my mom is downstairs sleeping or watching golf. Either way, I don't want to disturb her. And this is going to be my April TBR video. I'm hoping that based on what I want to read for the rest of March, it's only halfway through March at the moment, but I'm hoping based on how I've scheduled that, hopefully everything will get read and I will be able to push on with the things that I want to read in April, which I have all organized at this point. And I'm really excited because the biggest part of April, of my reading in April, is going to be a themed readathon / challenge, reading challenge thing that was created by Book Roast, and I am so sorry for those of you who are subscribed to her channel, or if she ever sees this, but I have seen multiple videos of hers and I still don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm really, really sorry, but I'm just going to be calling her by her booktube channel, which is Book Roast, and I will link it down in the description. But anyway, she has created this really, really awesome reading challenge readathon thing where anyone who participates is essentially going to be sitting their OWLs from Harry Potter. And she has created different reading challenges to coincide with all of the different subjects, and she has listed the grades that are the same grades from Harry Potter for the OWLs, and it's just so cool. I unfortunately don't have time to explain everything that she talked about, so I will either find the video link or just put her channel down in the description, and you can go check out her video where she explains everything. I myself am going to be trying to participate in 9 of the 11 subjects. I think there are 11 total because I think that's what Hermione got all of them. So I think I'm going to be participating in 9 instead of the full 11, because 2 of them I couldn't find books for. So I'm going to talk about those first, and then I'm going to talk about books that do not have to do with that readathon / challenge that I'm going to be attempting to read as well. And that challenge actually goes from the 2nd of April to the 29th of April, which is such a significant portion of the month that I'm also going to be reading my non-OWL challenge books in there as well. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so the first one that I will be participating in, if I can get this fixed, there we go, is Ancient Runes. And Ancient Runes, the challenge is read a book with a mysterious symbol on the cover. Mine is going to be Pyramids by Terry Pratchett. It can be either mysterious or meaningful to the story, and this is meaningful to the story because in it, the pyramid or pyramids are the source of the trouble and the problem in this story. So I'm counting this because even though I've already started it in March, I'm only 52 pages in, which is about a sixth of the way through, and I'm not going to be able to continue reading this in March. So I'm just going to wait and pick this back up in April for this challenge. Next is Arithmancy. Read a book with a number on the cover or in the title. Now, this is going to go one of two ways. I have made it part of my TBR for March to try to read Henry IV Part 2 by William Shakespeare, and if I do not achieve that in March, then this will be my count for arithmancy, I can't say that word, for the OWL challenge. And if I do actually manage to read that in March, then I will be moving on to Henry V in April for the OWL challenge. So, one or the other. And then the next one is Astronomy, and for this you read a science fiction novel. Now, for this I've actually picked Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. You will also have seen this in my currently reading / rest of March TBR video that I'll post before this, but I've officially decided to push this to April because I have so many things that I'm trying to finish in March, and this film doesn't actually come out till the 29th of March, which means I can get away with reading it in the first or second week of April and still manage to see the film in theaters. So this is going to be my sci-fi pick for the OWLs. And then next is Care of Magical Creatures. Read a book that features a magical creature or has that creature on the cover. I don't think this has the creature on the cover. It doesn't, but for that I picked Winter's Tale by Mark Halperin. This features a magical flying horse who is much like... He's either supposed to be Pegasus or he's just supposed to be the same type of winged horse as Pegasus. He has the ability to fly and other magical abilities that show up throughout the story. So that's what I'm counting for that one. And then we have, okay, next up is Charms, I believe, and that is a fantasy novel. And so for that one, I have picked Dreamer's Pool by Juliette Marillier, or Marillier. I still don't know how you say her name. But I'm going to be starting over with this one. Basically I'm going to be starting over with this one if I have time. If I don't have time to start over, then I think I'm still going to count this anyway, because I'm not quite halfway through with this. I'm like maybe a third of the way through. Which I think is little enough to still count this, but I might consider that a little bit like cheating, so I'm hopefully going to be able to start this over. But yeah, I started this a year ago, and I was completely loving it. Grimm, this is the first book in the Blackthorn and Grimm series, and Grimm is one of my favorite characters ever. He is amazing. So yes, I'm very excited to start this over and get back into this world. Next up is Defense Against the Dark Arts. Read a book about or featuring secret societies or clubs. I don't know if this one counts, but I'm kind of hoping it does. This is Glamour and Glass by Mary Robinette Kowal, which is the sequel to Shades of Milk and Honey, which is the first book in the Glamorous Histories, and this one actually takes place when Napoleon escaped from Elba, and so I'm kind of counting all of the people, like all of the men who, and maybe women, I don't know, who helped him escape from Elba as the secret society or organization or club, and I'm not really sure if that counts, but I kind of hope it does. Especially because this is also considered, I think this, the subgenre for this book is actually, it's considered a spy novel. So, yeah, I'm hoping that counts, but I'm not totally sure. But I'm counting it as such. Next is Divination, and that's actually the one that I am skipping. This is a book that features prophecies, which I couldn't figure out which one of these had a prophecy in it, so I'm skipping that one. And if I read any of these that I haven't already counted that are for other things that end up having a prophecy in them, then I will end up having an extra OWL, which is cool. Next is Herbology, a book with a nature-related word in the title. So for that, I'm picking New Moon with the Old by Dodie Smith, because it has moon in the title, which, of course, is nature itself. So yes, I loved this when I was reading it a couple years ago, and I set it down, haven't picked it back up, so I really want to start it over and read it cover to cover finally, because I was really enjoying it. Next is a historical fiction book, and for that I have Lady Rose and Mrs. Memory by Ruby Ferguson. This was written in the 30s, but it's set during the Victorian period. Now, I'm either going to use this one or Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Annie Barrows and Marianne Schaefer. I haven't decided which because I don't quite know when that film is coming out in the US, and if I find out it's coming out pretty soon, then I'll probably read that one instead of this one. But if it's not, then I'll probably read this one. And then the last one is, oh, sorry, not the last one. For Muggle Studies for nonfiction, I am trying to read Diary of a Bookseller by Sean Bithell, anyway, with Janet from SwirlyGirlyReads, and we haven't decided when we're going to buddy read it. So if we decide to do that in April, then that will be my Muggle Studies nonfiction book. And if we don't decide to read it in April, or we decide not to read it in April, then I will actually be reading Harry Potter Journey Through a History of Magic, that I think was put together by the British Library. So yes, that'll be a lot of fun either way. And then next we have Potions, which is another one that I'm skipping. This is a book that features or is about alchemy. And this is another situation where if I find out that one of the books that I am not counting for any of these challenges actually does involve alchemy, then again I'll have an extra OWL, but for now I'm saying I'm not participating because I don't know of any of my books that have that. So I'm skipping it for now. And then last is Transfiguration, a book that deals with transfiguration or shapeshifting, etc., or a book with a cat on the cover, because the professor of Transfiguration, Professor McGonagall, can transform into a cat. And so for that, I have picked The Chronicles of Crestomancy Volume 1 by Diana Wynne Jones, because it has a cat on the cover, and I believe this is actually a tabby cat, which is the specific type of cat that McGonagall can transform into. And for this, I may actually only end up reading one of these. It has 2 books in it, Charmed Life and Lives of Christopher Chant. So I may end up only reading Charmed Life, depending on how I'm doing with the other books that I have to read in April. So we shall see. Okay, so that's the end of my OWL challenges, and next I have the 3 books that I am definitely trying to read in April. In addition to those, first is Valette by Charlotte Bronte, and I'm really hoping that by the time you see this, I will have at least gotten halfway through it, because it is, I haven't started it yet as of now, but it is my goal to get maybe halfway through it by the end of March. So hopefully I will only have a little bit left of this to read in April. And I meant to mention I'm buddy reading this with Janet from SwirlyGirlyReads and Amanda Jenner. And then next is A Dance to the Music of Time, the first movement. We will be reading the next book for the read-along, and that is A Buyer's Market, I believe. So I will be reading this with Katie as well as everyone else who's participating in this read-along, and hopefully by the time you see this, I will have posted a video about A Question of Upbringing, the first one, that I, at this point, have not read yet. And then last but not least, I really, really want to read Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim in April, because I just feel like with that month in the title, there's no other time that I can read this. I don't know why, that's silly, but I really want to read this in April, so we shall see. And then I have a pile of maybes. Now, my maybes are Moorland Cottage by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is one I am halfway through, and that is why I haven't counted it for any of my OWL challenges, because I am enough of the way through it that I feel like that would be cheating. And then I have the last 2 stories in the English Garden, which, same reason, I only have 2 stories left, so there you go. As well as Carry On Jeeves by P.G. Woodhouse, Christmas at Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons, and Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. And these are all books that I really want to get to, but that are kind of on the back burner in comparison to the other ones that I have. But I'm hoping I can get to at least a few of these in addition to all the others I'm trying to read. So we shall see. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if any of you are participating in the OWL Readathon challenge thing. And again, I'll try to post that information down below, as well as the Dance to the Music of Time read-along stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.